Today's discussion is testing the fan on the Gridtek 10. Here's an image of the fan. It's located on top of the inverter, on top of the heatsink, and the fan's in here. This is a diagram I drew of the fan and the power circuit and the thermostat that drives the fan, the AC contactor that drives the fan. And there's the power transformer. There's the fan. I'm not going to get into the diagram, but there it is in case you can use it. Okay, so now we're inside the cabinet where I want to point a few things out. Right on top of the board, if you can see in there, I'll stick my screwdriver in here. Okay, turn the light on. That right there is the thermostat that drives the fan. The thermostat is mounted to the heatsink. So when the inverter starts to get warm, the thermostat trips. It measures the temperature of the heatsink. The thermostat closes or turns on at approximately 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The other item that controls the thermostat is this contactor right here. This is on the left side. This is the turbine side contactor. So this wire right here goes through a normally open contact of the contactor. And then the last component that controls the fan is going to be this jack right here. Actually doesn't control the fan, but the last component we're going to talk about. This is P12. We're going to talk about that in a second. So for the fan to run, the thermostat has to close and the the generator contactor needs to be closed, and then the fan will come on. So we're going to go through a couple of procedures on how to test the fan. The best way to test the fan is to actually fool the thermostat, and we're going to do that by a heat gun. But as I said earlier, the unit needs to be producing, so I'm going to turn this unit on. So I will be using a heat gun, and I'm going to use the heat gun and I'm going to apply heat right to the heat sink about where I think the thermostat lies. So I'm just going to hold it here. And then I'm also going to use this IR temperature sensor where I'm going to measure how much temperature is on the heatsink. Now you probably won't have one of these, but at least if you can see the thermostat click on with some heat, that'll give us some idea that the thermostat's working. So again, the first step is to make sure the unit's producing. So this unit's going to come online in 1 minute. It doesn't have to produce very much. Right now my RPM's at 91. We just have to make sure that the turbine side contactor is pulled in. Okay, now that the inverter is producing power, only 0.7 kW, that tells me that my turbine side contactor is pulled in. That's the one on the left. And I'm going to take a reading of the heatsink, which we think it's going to be room temperature now. So I'm just going to shoot it down there, and as you can see, it's 63.6. So I'm now going to start applying heat with my heat gun. Okay, I'm starting the process. I've got the heat gun on high, and I'm just going to hold it there. Let's see how long it takes.